from various organizations, various groups within the area about different offerings that they have. A couple will be recorded, like pre-recorded for people who were out of town for spring break and like couldn't attend for whatever reason. So the first one will be from Zenya from UC Veg, and that one's going to be a recording. So I'm going to be sharing that through my screen. So let me do that now.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me.
I want to make sure, and can anyone tell me if the sound is coming through? Yes, okay. Okay.
My name is Zenya Lederman. I am an AmeriCorps serving with UC Veg and Blue Zones Project as Community Garden Coordinator. So part of what my job entails is getting the community gardens in Roseburg to a better and more sustainable place in the future. So I work to support 3 community gardens, and those are Gateway Community Garden, which is located in downtown Roseburg, right next to the Senior Center. The second one is Umpqua Dairy Community Garden, and that one is located about 2 blocks away behind Umpqua Dairy. And then the third one is Westside Community Garden, and that one is located next to First United Methodist Church of Roseburg, behind where the farmers market is on Saturdays. So you might see it, you might have seen it then. If not, go check it out. But so this work means supporting them in a number of ways. Partly physically, getting them to a better place, so doing weeding, adding more beds, adding a compost, getting them cleaned up, having work parties, things along that line. And the second one is filling the garden beds. And so right now that is what we're focused a lot on, because happy spring, it's planting time. So I wanted to tell you about the openings we have at these gardens. At Westside Community Garden, we have 10 open spots, and those we have raised beds and in-ground beds, and those are $20 for the year. They vary in sizes, but price is the same. The second one is Gateway Community Garden, and we have 12 open spaces. Those are all raised beds. Some are higher than others for accessibility. Those are $25 for the year. And with that garden, we do have scholarships available for people who aren't able to pay the price for the year. And then the third one is Umpqua Dairy Community Garden, and we currently have 6 open plots there. Those are a bit more expensive because the plots are larger. So it's $60 for the larger in-ground beds, and then $45 for the year for the raised beds, which are a little bit smaller. So one of our goals is actually to have a program where schools or kids can come to the garden and garden. So we used to have a program with a Montessori school at Westside Community Garden, where they would come after school once or twice a week and garden there. However, that had to end due to COVID and some other things, but we are looking to restart that, and with any schools or any programs that are interested. So my email is umpquagardens@gmail.com. So if any of the things that I'm telling you about is interesting, or you want to learn more or sign up, please email me and we can get something going. So filling the beds, that's one of the things that I work on that we are trying to promote to the public. The second thing is some of the events we have coming up, because those are in the garden, and we really want to kind of bring attention to the community gardens that we have here and get them into a better place for the future and get more people involved with them. So the next event that we have coming up is May 1st at 1 p.m. and that is Art in the Garden, and that takes place at the Gateway Community Garden. And so that will be painting and planting in the garden. So we're going to be planting flowers, painting on the garden beds, painting some crafts and decorations for the garden. We will have snacks and free seed starter kits. And so we really want to target kids for this event. Obviously, we want all members of the community to join us, but we would love to get kids involved. This is a very kid-friendly event and a great way to kind of introduce them to the garden and get them interested in it. So mark your calendars for that one. The second one is a bed building event, and so that is at Westside Community Garden on May 22nd at 1:30 p.m., and food will be provided. So we are rebuilding 2 of the garden beds there that have kind of just deteriorated over time, and we're trying to rebuild those so we'll have more beds available for people who want to garden. So another thing that I help organize are monthly garden workshops. So these are really targeted for people who are just beginning to garden or just want to learn more garden techniques, get kind of some information about how to get started and make the most of their gardens. So a lot of these are held by OSU Master Gardeners. Right now, we've had a handful of virtual workshops due to COVID and some of the regulations. However, we have had in-person events in the past, in-person workshops in the past, and we plan to again in the future. So those are a great way to get started with gardening if you are a little timid or if people just need more information about how to garden in this area and make the most of your space. So yeah, those are some of the exciting things that we have coming up that we are looking forward to and would love other members of the community to be involved in. We're always looking for volunteers, whether it be for these events or just to help out in the garden. That can be anything from pulling weeds to lawn mowing to just helping plant some new things there, all of the above. So, and a lot of these volunteer events can count for community service hours. In case any of the students need those for any classes or clubs, all of these can count. So we would love to work with you guys, and if any of this interests you, please send me an email and we can get connected and figure out a way that all of us can work together. So thank you, and also for more information, you can visit the garden Facebook pages. Those are at Service Gardens and at WSC Garden for the Westside Community Garden and Service Gardens. Also, the UC Veg Facebook page has all of the events that we're working on there to find. So thank you.
All right. So we'll move then to Cherish, who's also with UC Veg, but going to talk about a little bit different stuff. So Cherish, if you're ready, you can take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Cherish Wanter, and I also serve at UC Veg, like Ryan said, and I am the community nutrition educator. So I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about the different nutrition education programs that UC Veg does, and then also how we are available to do that with any organization, schools, or other things within the community as well. So let's get started. So just to say, why is this important? And this is a really cool flyer that just kind of shows like the pathway to health, and the baseline for that is nutrition, because it literally impacts every aspect of health. So I just think it's really cool to like point out. And then also in the US right now, we've been seeing for like decades and really increase in the prevalence of chronic diseases within our society, and a lot of those chronic diseases are related to issues with nutrition. And so for example, a lot of people based on our diet have issues where they end up being obese, or just developing other health problems like heart disease, cancer, lung disease, stroke, diabetes, which is very common. And if you look at the little graphic here, it says that 4 in 10 adults in the US have 2 or more chronic diseases, and then 6 in 10 in the US have 1. So it just shows that this is really prevalent within our society right now. And then also when you look at children as well, there's kind of the similar thing going on where over nearly 30% of kids in the US don't exercise anymore, and like 3 times a week or not. They're usually just, at home, on their phone or computer, just with stuff like that. And then 75% of high school kids do not consume the recommended amount of fruit and veggies each day as well. So it's an issue that we're dealing with all ages in the US. So what does UC Veg do? So like I said earlier, UC Veg does nutrition education and support. So this one here is like the nutrition education, and then cooking demonstrations and classes. And then we used to have in-person potlucks. And then we have a shopping tour that is now online, where people can come and kind of learn how to navigate the grocery stores, like thinking about like what you're buying, learning how to read the nutritional labels on different pre-made food items and such. And the pictures here is a partnership that we have with Chatway Clubhouse that we go to, and we teach nutritional classes there as well. So that's just an example of some of the things that we do. So for me, the ways that I'm eventually working with schools and teachers is, one, to use the connection of the school with the parents to promote some of the more adult programmings that we do. So for example, we talk about like learning how to eat healthy on the budget. Like, you don't have to be restricted by your budget if you're interested in improving your health through nutrition. And again, 10 tips to save on food. And then other things would be like using the book section. This is more like SHRMS based, because it's one of the more easily accessible grocery stores around here. And then meal planning, like what is the value of meal planning and how you can like really use that to help you save time and also create more affordable meals. And also reduce how much reliance you might have on eating out, because if you don't have those things pre-prepared, you're more likely to go out and purchase food when you're hungry. Finding easy and affordable recipes, batch cooking, and then container gardening, and more resources and tips. And look how beautiful this picture is, just fruits and veggies and grains. Oh. So this is just pictures. For example, batch cooking, you can store this is pizza sauce and like rice cup already in the freezer, so you can just take it out and do that. And then growing your own food. I want to talk a little bit about this because, like you see here, they're just containers, and there are a lot of veggies that you can grow in little containers like these, like tomatoes, a lot of peppers, cucumber, lettuce. So for a school project, this would be something that would be really cool to do. And UC Veg could partner with some of the other organizations that also do more school-based gardening things as well to provide the resources for this. And then, over time, once the tomatoes or things are big enough to be harvested, we can use them to create a recipe for the students, for them to kind of see that transition between growing your food and then preparing your food and then eating your food that a lot of kids don't really get to experience. And other topics are just like trying to define what exactly is healthy eating, because there's so many things around on the internet and just out there about what that means. So just trying to clarify that. And again, how to eat healthy on the budget, and then making sure we're doing cooking demonstrations for making meals and snacks for like the whole family. And then working with teachers and students. For this one, I don't have any specific things ready, because I feel like I will have to meet with a teacher, find out like their grade level, like what do the kids already know, what do they want to focus on. So just to like cater the curriculum to their needs. So that will be something, if you guys are interested in doing this, you can just contact me. My email is right here, ucvegamericor@gmail.com. And then we can sit down or Zoom and just have a more in-depth conversation on what exactly you're looking for through this. And then I just have some really nice pictures to make you all hungry because it's lunchtime. So look at this. So you don't have to compromise taste for health. So just some beautiful pictures. And then here's another one. Okay, I'm done now.
Thank you so much, Cherish. And yeah, so for any of the presenters, you can decide if you want to stay on the full lunch and learn time, or you can, sign off after your presentation is done. But yes, thank you so much. And our next person will be Madeline. So if you are ready to go, Madeline, then you can begin.
All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope you can all hear me. And thank you so much, Ryan, for setting this up and inviting us all. It's very exciting. So my name is Madeline Lamont, and I am another AmeriCorps member. There's quite a few of us right now, which is wonderful. And I serve with Umpqua Valley Public Defender. So for those of you who don't know, UVPD is the largest criminal defense firm in Douglas County, and specifically provides representation, court-appointed representation to individuals in Douglas County who are involved in different types of cases, but specifically those who are considered indigent or low income by the court system. And so this sort of takes place in a couple different sectors. Specifically, attorneys provide representation in criminal cases, in dependency cases, so for DHS, CPS involved families, civil commitment cases, and juvenile delinquency cases. And so that's sort of what I'm here to talk about, because one of my big projects here has been to work on the ideas of what could be an alternative to juvenile incarceration, or different methods of supervision for juveniles, juveniles that you might have in your classroom, might come in contact with. And really what I'm here to talk about today is something that I've been collaborating with the juvenile department on, something called the Umko Community Justice Network. And so really it's a consortium of organizations, entities, individuals who are striving to provide different methods of supervision, but also connect youth, whether they are more vulnerable, whether they're in crisis, or whether they are just regular Douglas County youth that you might have in your classroom every day, to service opportunities and resources. And so what this sort of looks like and what it's sort of become is, I think, one thing that became evident to me when I was introduced to Douglas County was that there are a lot of very dedicated, interested, and enthusiastic individuals and resources and people who want to help. There wasn't necessarily an organizational node or centralized mechanism by which people, whether youth or adults, could learn about volunteer opportunities, could learn about resources. You know, it was spread out. And I think that's sort of what we've been working on and creating. And so what that actually looks like in the UCJN, as we say, the Umko Community Justice Network, is a database that we've been creating with partner organizations to detail service opportunities that accept youth, specifically 12 to 18-year-olds, as well as 12 to 18-year-olds who might be justice involved, so might have delinquent activities that they've participated in and are trying to get court-mandated outers for, but also for youth in general, as well as support services and resources and what those might look like, whether those are educational classes, whether they're financial literacy opportunities, whether they are positive community connections that youth can participate in while in Douglas County. And right now we are building that with the Douglas County Juvenile Department, but what we are looking to do is building a website for that, a website that is accessible to the public at large, that is updated, that has these opportunities, and also is accessible. So kids, whether they're involved in court-mandated service, whether they're involved in regular activities and just want to learn about what's in the community, or whether it's just a nosy parent wanting to get their kid involved, they can go to the site and they can say, this is what we have, this is what we're looking for, and this is what is available in Douglas County. And so it is quite a big endeavor, but it's something we're very excited about. And so I just wanted to start getting the word out about it, because it is something we're very excited about and something that makes a difference, because I think for UCJN participants, and for me especially, but I think for everyone, what it really is built on is the idea of that the community at large is responsible for our youth. We are all responsible, not just professionals, not just the people who have those jobs, but all of us are responsible for building a society in which youth can thrive. And so I think that's going to be a portion of it, but we're very excited and we're moving forward. And again, I just appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about what we're doing. I'm going to drop a survey in the box. You can put your name in if you're interested in more information. You're also welcome to reach out to me. But that is sort of my little spiel. So thank you. Thank you all.
Thanks, Madeline. Yeah, it's always interesting for us as AmeriCorps members to hear about what other AmeriCorps members are doing. We hear a little bit during our intermittent sessions, but yeah, thank you so much. All right, so next we'll go to Cindy Hawes. So Cindy, you can start whenever you're ready.
Get my PowerPoint up. Oh, wait, there we go. Share screen. Okay. That's it right there. Okay, no, there we go. Sorry about that. I didn't realize I was slideshow. There we go. Slideshow. There we go. Okay. Everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me, Ryan?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, good. So I'm Cindy Hawes. I'm representing Umpqua Natural Leadership Science Hub, and we serve rural Douglas County by providing and supporting exemplary science education experiences and leadership programs, both in the field and in the classroom. This is the kind of stuff we love to do. We love to take students out in the field and do all kinds of different kinds of measurements, but also prior to that, having them understand our goal and reasons for doing that. So we do, we can do work with teachers to do in-classroom lessons. And these are the hands-on science, and we're a hands-on science and natural system focus. We work with elementary through college programs. I've actually worked as a teacher in middle school, high school, and college. And we use as our foundation ecological and biophysical principles, and we find that to be very important. And as in teaching in college, I'm finding many of my students tell me how important that is and wish that they had received more of that in earlier education. Nature-based systems thinking versus linear thinking is our focus. And youth outdoor natural science, citizen science type activities. We have a number of those I'll talk about in a minute. And we also do career college preparatory science experience, where we support individual students in their desires to get the kind of experience they need, the kind of training they may need in skill development and experience in natural resources if they're interested in that as a career. This is an example of one of the programs we do. It's a summer science camp. And this was with elementary school students. It was a two-day day science camp. And the reason I picked this particular photo is because that young boy there looking at that is actually a wet bulb, dry bulb, relative humidity tool. And that young man, it's just amazing when you get children out in nature together, how it changes them. And he was one of those that just dramatically changed after just 2 days session. And this is our email and Facebook and web page. And these are our board members, if you're interested in that. And here's my background. So I have 30 years as a professional in natural resources. I actually started, I have a degree in wildlife ecology and ended up eventually as a wildlife biologist working for different forests and ending my retiring from Umpqua National Forest as their forest wildlife biologist. So I have a lot of outdoor experience. And prior to becoming a wildlife biologist, I did agriculture and civil engineering and forestry and fire and range. And so I have lots of experience with ecological field applications and can easily help someone in terms of developing lesson plans based on their interest and ideas. And environmental education was my master's thesis. And as I mentioned a little earlier, I taught middle school, loved that, took students to Yellowstone for 10-day intensive field trip with middle school kids. And then high school science, 8 years, and then teaching principles of wildlife conservation and field techniques to this present day at UCC. And obviously, like you, I've seen how many youth suffer from nature deficit and the loss of free play. And I think everybody should start thinking about free play if you haven't yet. And a really good book there, Deep Play by Diane Ackerman. And the loss of health, maintaining outlets that nature provides. You know, nature certainly does give us better healthy feelings and strategies. Here's our 2-day camp, and they're on those sit-upon buckets. Those buckets have all kinds of their, hand lens and their journals and everything. We loved doing the sit-upons with the students, and they loved them because they can take all that home with them. This is one of the Yellowstone trips, and this was with adults, and this is fairly recent time. Took a group of college students to Yellowstone and some teachers. And one of the members here today was at this event, Lisa Lanza. And this is kind of a fun thing I'd like to do because Yellowstone is such an intact ecosystem, and with the return of the wolf, and I used to actually work in the Yellowstone ecosystem as a grizzly bear biologist, so I have a really good feel for that area, and we have a lot of fun understanding ecosystems when we're there. And so this is our program. So right now I'm doing a lot of work with wetland recovery and restoration because of invasive species. And so we do wetland workshops and recovery work on public and private land. In fact, Susan Applegate has a wetland that we're working on, and there's opportunity to take students there to learn about the work we're doing there. And we're working on a pollinator project, and we're working to develop a bumblebee survey and have a student who's leading that charge. And we've had, as I mentioned, these Yellowstone 10-day of field seminars, and we've done them for middle school through college age students, but not at the same time. And then classroom and schoolyard science programs, done many of those, summer outdoor science day camp. I love taking students to Klamath National Wildlife Refuge as wetland and wildlife. And local outdoor one-day forest field trips with classroom pre and post lessons on various topics. And I've also worked with the museum over the years and have done a lot of work on Natural History of Oregon Mammals program there with them. Another student having herself a really intense session there. She's reading a soil thermometer. And here's our Yellowstone trip. And we're open for partnerships. We like to connect college students and research scientists to youth as part of our modeling protocol. We understand science teachers' time challenges and can support so they don't have to do as much extra work to provide a high quality science education. I fully understand that, having been a science teacher. Current opportunity to visit the Applegate wetland, as I mentioned, open to planning and helping to implement programs that involve outdoor field days or camp programs. And this is our principle-based science. Gives you some idea of how we look at things, and I will get into this later today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. Yeah, she's just a wealth of knowledge and information, as you can probably tell. So if you have, questions or trying to figure out how to incorporate a field project, field study or do a survey or something, she's definitely a good person to go to. Yeah, so Cindy, if you could stop sharing, then we'll switch over to Isaac, who I believe is also on the call.
Yep. Okay. So can everyone see this page?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit small, but yes.
Let me see.
I'm guessing
better?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Isaac Norman. I am an AmeriCorps member serving with Douglas County Partners for Student Success. And I'm here to give you a brief overview of what our organization does and the resources we offer. DCPSS has two areas of focus, career-connected learning and promoting STEAM education. Our career-connected learning initiative is called Bright Futures Umpqua, and it focuses on helping youth prepare for life after high school. So we do this by hosting industry tours and chats with local businesses through Oregon Connections, providing a guided approach to resources about topics like going to college, getting a job, and things like career technical education on our webpage, brightfuturesumpqua.com, hosting monthly skill building workshops and career spotlights, and facilitating BrightWorks clubs where we mentor youth directly in right now what we're offering is a 22-week skill building and career exploration program, but the programs can differ in length kind of depending on the time that we have available. So to summarize, we fill two main roles in the career connected learning. We do resource support and direct engagement with youth. So the other half of DCPSS is the Umpqua Valley STEAM Hub. UVSH promotes STEAM education through community engagement like our STEAM Extravaganza, offering professional development to educators, and our lending library, where we loan out STEAM-related equipment like programmable robots for teachers to use with their students. And briefly, what I want to do now is walk you through a few resources on our web pages. So this is DCPSS. If you wanted to go to Bright Futures Umpqua, you go here, brightfuturesumpqua.com, and we have several spots to go to. Right now I'm just kind of going to focus on the student section of it. So let's say you were a student, you could go here and you could start to look at, do you want to learn about a career path and what careers are available to you? Are you interested in higher education or some kind of education after high school? You could start going here. Or if you're just not sure and you want to do a strengths and skills assessment, you can do that here. For the DCPSS side, or I should say the STEAM Hub side, if you want to go to the lending library, for example, go here, and then sign up for it, and then you can just come out to the STEAM Hub and out at UCC and get in touch with us, come out, pick up the equipment, and use it from there. If you are interested in professional learning opportunities, you could go here. We had an event that happened in February 22nd, but we also have some ongoing events that are pretty cool. They're self-paced. And then lastly, I just want to talk about our STEAM Extravaganza. So that is happening May 8th to 16th. We're looking for people who would be interested in leading some activities for the public. If you're interested in doing that, send us, put in your name, email, give us a comment. But also, it's not just recruiting for people to do the event. We kind of, we have a lot of that taken care of on our end as an organization. So if you're also just interested in letting your kids know about it, and just promoting it, feel free to do that and check that out. And then the last thing I will do is I'll put my contact information in the chat. So let me stop sharing here. So if you're interested in getting in touch with me, you can reach me here. And then let me list the websites as well. pss.org. Yeah, so that is everything. Thanks for having me. Does anyone have any questions? All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I do have a quick question, actually. So the lending library, I think I talked to Gwen about this, but so that's mainly for teachers, correct?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I would definitely get in touch with her because I don't really work on that side of it, and I don't want to say something that's incorrect. But if you had questions about that, what I would recommend is filling out the form and then getting in touch with the lending library and hearing from them directly.
Awesome. Yeah, it's so cool that you guys have that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool equipment up there.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Isaac.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, cool. So I think we'll go next to Mimi. So if you are ready, we'll turn it over to you.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. And I want to also share sound. And I'm not sure if I did that. So give me 1 second.
Yeah, you can go, like if you go back at like stop sharing and then share again, then at the bottom, there's like a little box that says share sound.
Right. Sorry, 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Hi, everybody. My name's Mimi, and I am an AmeriCorps volunteer serving with Umpqua Valley Farm to School in partnership with the Blue Zones Project. And I am going to just give you guys a little summary of what we have to offer. So what we do is we work to connect local schools with local agriculture. So we do lessons in the schools. We establish gardens at schools. We work currently with Fir Grove Elementary, Winchester Elementary, and Green Elementary. We have gardens established at those schools, and we're working towards doing lessons with the students as well. Because of COVID, we have to switch to a virtual format. So I'm going to kind of go over what we have going on in regards to our website. So I give you guys a packet of some of our activities. We recently did a garden exploration kit program where we gave over 180 garden exploration kits to select grades at the 3 schools that we work with. And these are just some of the activities that are included in the kit. We give them wood and nails to build a little garden box. We gave them seeds and soil and a magnifying glass and painting materials as well. So I give you guys some of the activities that would be really easy and inexpensive to do in your classes. So for example, our plant part activities, so just going through and identifying the different parts of your favorite plants. So like leaves, roots, stem, flowers, and seeds. And then a little painting activity with that as well. I gave you the seed germination project, which is super easy. You can do that with just a container, garbanzo beans or black beans and some grass seed and paper towels, and it's really cool. You can just like watch the seeds grow within a few days and kind of see what their roots and stems look like when they first germinate. And then a soil composition activity as well, just to get kids to kind of know what's in their soil. So I give you guys another few activities like a scavenger hunt and a word search as well that are garden based. And all we have on our website under the activities page listed like a ton of activities that we had in that garden exploration kit. And then what we've been working on, especially because we can't be in the classrooms right now with students, is the series of video lessons. So with each of the garden activity packet activities, I've done a video exemplifying how to do it. So we have seed starting in the greenhouse. That wasn't in the activity kit, but that was just to get kids seeing how the seeds kind of start in the greenhouse before they get planted in their gardens. I did a plant part identification and painting video, the seed germination activity, and building your planter box and planting your seeds. We have a few other videos listed on our website as well. Another thing on our website that we have is a map of local farms and gardens. So it's just a cool little GPS type of map to see local farms in Douglas County and where school gardens are located, because there's school gardens at schools that we don't work with as well. So we have that available. And then what we're working on that I really wanted to show you guys was our farm field trip series. Normally, Umpqua Valley Farm to School would take classrooms to local farms and have the farms do a field trip and show them around and have them do an activity. But because we can't do that right now, we're doing a video series in different farms around Roseburg for different types of activities. So this is a video on DC Modern Roots with Chad, who started it and owns it. And he showed us how he has like an innovative seeding technique and just kind of shows us around his property. So I wanted to show you guys a few minutes of that. The video is about 10 minutes long, so I'm just gonna kind of skip around a little bit. So yeah, I'll start that right now.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Chad Northcraft with DC Modern Roots. We do all natural growing. We grow all sorts of vegetables. We grow from tomatoes to corn and everything in between, lettuces, onions, garlic. So I got some seeds that I want to show you, this nifty little tool that I had a friend make for me, and it's a vacuum seeder. So we will try that out and demonstrate how it does. So today we're going to be going over the seeding.
Oh, sorry.
The seeds. We're going to use the seeder, and so it's going to get noisy, but I'll show you the process of how it goes. So I've got a little bell.
So I'm not gonna show you guys all of that because I want you to see the part at the end, but it is cool when he shows the seeder. It's just a little loud.
So with the plants that we just planted, or the seeds we just planted, I take and I give them a little bit of water to make sure that they soak through really good. Activate germination, so they have nice moist soil. Moist soil and warm soil. So we have peppers. I got an early variety of tomatoes that are coming up. They'll be going in the greenhouse. Most of everything else is peppers. We have some broccolis, cabbages, some got stringy. And then more peppers. And then we're getting ready to plant tomatoes. We'll have tomatoes going on here real quick. So it's a little bit early still. So April's usually our month for asparagus.
Anything else in these beds?
Those are asparagus too. So,
Oh, okay.
yep. Doesn't look like much going on. I need to weed them, and I was hoping the chickens would help me out on that. They did pretty good though. And then they dug up some of the crowns too. So that's what asparagus crown looks like if you're unfamiliar. Growing's fun. It's a good hobby. I've turned my hobby into more than just a hobby. It's a livelihood now. But
what do you have as recommendation for kids who want to maybe get into this line of work?
just do it. You know, that's the thing. Just do it. You want to plant a seed, go plant a seed, and watch it grow. That's the coolest thing about what we do is, you know, I like starting from the very beginning. I like planting that seed, watching it grow, to watching it fruit, and eating it. It's my favorite. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching, and check us out. We'll be back planting these seeds that we just planted, so stay tuned.
All right, so yeah, that was just like a little clip of that video. It's kind of cool. We have, you know, it's like a 10-minute long video, but we're doing more videos like that with Chad from DC Modern Roots and his wife. We have a video coming out soon that I did filming for that same day on egg incubation, because they have lots of chickens and little baby chicks, and the chickens are, you know, hatching their eggs, and we're gonna do a video series on that as well. And yeah, we have lots of different resources. These are just some of the things that I think would be good for teachers who maybe don't work with the schools we work with, but we still have good content to show your students. And I can link our website and put my information in the chat as well if you have any questions. And if anyone has any questions right now, feel free to ask. But I think that's all I have to say for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mimi. Okay, so I am then going to actually share my screen again because I'm going to share another video from another AmeriCorps member who is with Blue Zones. So let me do that.
Hi everyone, my name is Nico Padgett. I am serving as the health educator with the Blue Zones Project Umpqua through AmeriCorps, and my apologies I couldn't be with you all today. I had a prior engagement that I had already committed to before Ryan presented this wonderful opportunity to me, but I still wanted to take a couple of minutes. I'll try and keep it quick and share about Blue Zones Project Umpqua and something that we do that we believe benefits high school seniors especially. So Blue Zones Project Umpqua is a community-wide well-being improvement initiative just to make healthy choices easier. It's focused on making small but sustainable improvements across environment, policy, and social networks. That means that residents and business owners are focused on improving well-being for themselves and their neighbors. And we've seen it work with lowering obesity rates, smoking rates, and just creating a healthier, happier place to live, work, and play. We focus on work sites, schools, faith-based organizations, grocery stores, restaurants, and implementing these little changes to help them make this sort of impact in the community as well. And we also have Power 9, which are our foundations for the Blue Zones Project and what the things that we try and instill in these places, which you can see on the handout. But all of this really comes together, and it paid off. The Blue Zones Project Umpqua has been working out for 3 years, and the Umpqua Valley just last month or 2 months ago got certified as Blue Zones Project approved community, which means that we met all these metrics. We have made sustainable, healthy changes and an impact on this community, and we get to continue to do so for at least the next 3 years or so. And a main thing that we love to do with this community, especially high school seniors, we have done in the past, and there's these really incredible, hold on, oh my gosh, excuse me, something in the air, these allergies have been acting up, but something we do with high school seniors that has worked is a purpose workshop. And so basically it's this 2-hour-long session where we go in and we look at students' gifts, their passions and values, and how all these come together to form their purpose. And it's hard because it's something that isn't really focused on people pursuing their passion, pursuing their purpose. And you look all over the world, like in these places that are the original Blue Zones communities, like these people have a sense of purpose. You can go and ask, like in Okinawa, Japan, what their ikigai is, which is Japanese for like their purpose. And everybody will be able to tell you right away. And that's something that we hope to help high school seniors like focus on and cultivate and discover as they move out of high school and into the rest of their lives. And if you are interested in that, or even Blue Zones Project Umpqua and finding out information, please don't hesitate to email me at bzpumpqua@gmail.com, and I would be happy to coordinate with you or answer any questions that you may have. And just wanted to thank you again. Hopefully this is only like 4 minutes long, for taking the time to listen to me and hear what I have to say. And I want to thank Ryan for giving me this platform to share these things on. And I hope everybody has a good rest of their day, and the rest of the presentations are going awesome. I'm sorry again I couldn't be there in person, but hopefully I'll get to meet all of you at some point.
Right. So we just have a couple more, and I think the timing should work out just right for that. So I think I saw Patrick is on. So Patrick, if you can go next, and then Melanie, you'll be after Patrick.
Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen here. Hello, so I'm Pat Crawford. I'm the Healthy Transitions Coordinator with Compass Behavioral Health here in Roseburg. I'm here to talk about a project we're working on called Barrier Reduction Kits, or as our Youth Family Director likes to call it, the BERKs. Anyway, so what is Healthy Transitions? Healthy Transitions is a grant fund initiative through SAMHSA, working specifically with 16 to 25-year-olds to help end the stigma surrounding mental health care and increasing access to mental health care to that demographic. Our goal is to work together with this population to develop strategies to make mental health care accessible in Douglas County. So what they're saying in kind of a nationwide level is that when youth hit about 16 up until about 25, there's a pretty significant decline in participation in mental health services. So what SAMHSA has done is every 5 years, they pick a cohort of states to do this Healthy Transitions grant to test out strategies to increase access and participation from this demographic to mental health care. We are the second cohort, so us and 9 other states are doing that. In Oregon, there are 2 test sites, so us in Douglas County and Lane County. Anyway, one of the proposed projects was the Barrier Reduction Kit, which is a what the goal is that there's a lot of youth who go from youth to adulthood without a solid support plan. So a lot of us, when we turned 18, as young adults, we still had parents we could call and support us. Have a level of the natural supports. Some folks don't have that. So the goal is to create these kits, which are physical, like messenger bags full of resources, tools to help them navigate independent living in the adult world. So the idea is that we put bus passes, clothing vouchers, other resources in there so that when they are out there, they're not out there alone, and that we hopefully give them the tools to get the support that's already out there that they may not be aware of. So our goal is to provide resources and support to young people and youth and young adults who are lacking that support system. The bags will be filled with resources as well as directory of available services. Also, our goal is to measure the effectiveness of this project to see if it's something that helps connect young people to services, because we want this to be kind of an ongoing support tool rather than just like a short-term, immediate assistance. So kind of what we're looking for is we've already formed a small community group made up of several representatives. So we have some folks from the Roseburg School District, Compass, ADAPT Prevention, South River Medical Center, Salvation Army, Rotary Club, Malik from the AmeriCorps, and we're looking to expand that group. What we're hoping for is to help us design what should go in the bags, what resources, or what things you see young people needing, as well as also help us to strategize how we're going to distribute these bags, how we're going to identify those who could benefit from them, and also strategies on how we can track this and see if the people receiving these bags are getting the help we're hoping for, and if it's an effective project. Anyways, if anybody's interested in joining that group or has would like some more information, here's my contact info. I'll also put it in the chat. Healthy Transitions, we also have a Facebook page, which I put the link there as well. On that page, we share events, tools and resources and stuff. So yeah, is there any questions?
Yeah, I was wondering, can people donate to the kits? Like you mentioned about like vouchers for clothing or bus passes or something. Yes,
definitely. Like I said, I kind of made it clear that we're not asking for donations, but if somebody wants to, we're not going to turn them away.
Gotcha.
Like I said, we're grant funded, but we're kind of in a unique situation right now where due to COVID, a lot of our plans got sidelined, and so we actually are grossly under budget for the year. So we're kind of using this as a way to help people, but also, you know, spend down that excess funds, because unfortunately with the government, if you don't use it, you tend to lose it. So that's part of the, you know, it's kind of a dual purpose project. But yeah, if anybody has any resources that we could put in the bag that you think would be helpful, or any kind of vouchers, coupons, anything that a young person might benefit from, you know, who may not have, you know, like I said, a solid support system, yeah, please send them my way.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So then we'll jump over to Melanie.
Great, thank you so much. I'm Melanie McKinnon. I'm a member of the Douglas County Global Warming Coalition. We're a catalyst for promoting a healthy climate for our community and future generations. Our efforts focus on identifying and sharing solutions through awareness, advocacy, and collaboration. Some of our projects and topics that we explore include transportation and land use, including helping Roseburg to become a bicycle-friendly community, participating in updating Roseburg Transportation's system plan, and electrifying our transportation system. We explore water and watersheds while working in collaboration with Umpqua Watershed. The forestry group explores factors impacting forest productivity, such as soil health, water retention, and fire intensity. Energy is my focus. The Douglas County Smart Energy Group brings together nonprofits, major utilities, and private individuals dedicated in promoting conservation, energy efficiency, and renewable energy. You can check out our group's website at dcsmartenergy.org. Another important focus of Douglas County Global Warming Coalition is agriculture. We're very fortunate that one of our board members is a proficient gardener and master gardener. That's Scott McCain. And we have a particular opportunity for schools and students involving biochar. And biochar is a charcoal-based soil amendment that can have multiple benefits. It's really great. It's great for soil health as well as the environment for carbon sequestration. That's the process of storing carbon in soil organic matter and removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. So it's really helpful in a few ways. Biochar is produced from burning organic material such as waste wood, that would be used for other purposes, and burning it at high temperature with little to no oxygen availability. And we're working on a project along with another partner, we'll be able to produce and, we'll be able to provide biochar to several local schools at no cost to them. And we're interested in connecting with schools that have gardens and providing this to them. And we also look forward to expanding this program. We have several ideas beyond this, and we want to expand this program, including additional education and a work study program. So we've talked about a lot of different ideas, and we want to expand this as we can gather more and work in person with schools. And so as we know, we have a lot of challenges around that right now. And we work on several things. We're very interested in connecting with students, teachers, and schools to hear their ideas on how they'd want to be involved. So sincerely, reach out to us. We'd like to hear your ideas and your students' ideas on what they would like to be involved with. We have additional opportunities for involvement on our events, outreach, marketing, graphic design, art projects, and more. We welcome contributions to our newsletter. I'll share our contact information, including our general information, mine, and Scott's information if you're interested in connecting about that biochar program. So thanks so much to Ryan and Umpqua Watersheds for this opportunity to share more about our organization.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I think I got everyone. So Casey wanted to share something before we then jump into our next presentation. And I see that Michelle is here ready to go. So Casey.
So I just wanted to make a comment about Blue Zones. Blue Zones was started by Dan Bittner, who did a 7-year project for National Geographic where he traveled around the world to find areas where there's high people living long, longevity. And what were some of the key components? Diet, exercise, that kind of stuff. But I met him in 2008. I'd just done a big bike trip, and he mentioned something that meant a lot to me because he came on after I came on in a local TV program. And he says, what Casey is doing is one of the components of people living longer in healthy communities. It's people being involved and passionate about making a difference in their communities and doing something that really means something of purpose to them. So everything you're talking about here today relates to that. The education, of course, all of us would be here without education, but all these community resources. So thank you very much for bringing them on, Ryan.
Yes, thank you for everyone who was able to attend. We filled up like the full hour exactly, so that was perfect. And I actually figured I'd table mine. I have a ton of things to share too, but I'll table it till my presentation later.